Aging has one problem, and if you're a teacher, there is a bigger problem because the fact that I have to tell you something or I have to give you gyan is a very large influence on my head. So welcome to Subramani. I am going to tell you today what I learned from the COVID experience, and I would be very happy if you can in the comments say what you learned from the COVID experience. So first of all, I learned one lesson which may or may not be right for everybody, is to say when there is a problem, when the market falls 30%, only then you realize that there is a huge panic in the market and your portfolio has already fallen maybe 20% or 40% depending on the alpha in your portfolio. What should you do then is, what worked for me this time is to sit calm and look at the longer term, right? What will happen 10 years later, 5 years later, because I always knew that one such drawdown happens once in a decade. It's not going to happen every day that there's a 30% fall in the market. I did not know that Corona was coming, but I knew something would come and the market would fall. I was completely unprepared for the upside. I did not expect the recovery to be so fast. I was reconciled to a recovery happening only by 2022, 2024, whatever it was. However, the market recovered very quickly and that was a good surprise. So that's not, but that's a bad learning. Don't assume that recoveries will be so fast. So your learning should be, when the market falls, if you need money, you may still have to sell, but don't sell it that day. Wait for some recovery, wait for the market to come back to where it was at least. Because if you made one mistake of buying high, which you didn't know obviously when you were buying, don't compound it by selling early, right? So don't do that, don't make that mistake. So sit calm during a crisis. If the market falls, or if you are the first one to panic, then you may be successful. But if you are, the problem is when there is a 30% fall, you do not know whether the fall is completed or whether it is going to fall further. However, sitting calm during this period and looking at the long term, saying I don't need money now, whatever money I need I have in my savings account or ultra short bond fund or something like that, or in the worst case in my credit card I can always borrow. So use your sense to stay calm, and that was lesson number one. Lesson number two, I've spoken many times, is asset allocation. If you had all your money in equity, you would have felt bad, but if you had just sat calmly, you would have still recovered all your money and you would have actually made more money. However, asset allocation is not for people who can behave like a complete monk and remain calm when the market goes up or goes down. It is meant for the common man who will panic when such a situation happens. So the best item to sell, or the best thing to sell in your portfolio for cash requirement in March 2020 was gold, right? But how many people actually sold gold in March or April 2020? I really don't know, except for those people who had nothing other than gold. Yes, if you were very poor and you were, you needed that money because of the lockdown, etc., and you had no other, you did not have bank deposits or something which you could raid, then yes, gold got sold. But how many people change their asset allocation saying, this is a great time to be selling gold, so let me sell gold and buy something else? None of us would have done that. So get your asset allocation right and be willing to sell an asset whose price is going up far greater than what you and I can understand. I also realized during this time that the advantages of stock picking is you could pick up what shares you wanted during a pandemic and you could sell what you didn't want. So for me, buying whether it was buying a hotel or whether it was buying an airline at say Indigo at sub 900 prices were definitely good things which I could do, which I could never have asked whether my fund manager would have done it. If I were just influenced enough to put all my money in an index fund, that index fund would have missed the upside of a airline. Of course, some other place they would have made money, but if your airline is not there in the index, you would have missed that, right? It's not just for the fun that you would have missed that, but you would have missed that because it's not there in the index at all. You also realize that if you try to time the markets, you could fall on your nose, fall on your face, and that can be very hurtful. So with market timing, even if for a minute I can say in January I knew something terrible was happening in the coronavirus, I had no clue that in March in one day it will fall so much and there will be a 30% fall over a very short period of time. That's a new thing happening in the market even for me. The fall and the rise is very rapid, which means greater power to you with your SIP than what my generation got more time on the way up and on the way down. 2008-9 and 2020-21 or 19-20-21, whatever you want to call it, did not give time to people standing on the buy side and saying, I will watch the market, I will buy later. You didn't get a chance to time the market up or down. So being invested for long periods of time makes sense at whatever stage of the market. One more thing was I saw the value of, or rather the real value investing came back to fashion. I remember I was with in a Cafe Mutual meet with when Prashant Jain was the first speaker, and I said I do think value investing is under threat and maybe value investing is dead. And he said only when 10 people like you say value investing is dead will value investing raise its head again, which is so true. Being a value investor largely means you have to be contrarian also. When everybody is telling you, look, this strategy doesn't work, your ability to stick to that strategy and revive. All the three big fund managers, whether it is Prashant, Anand, Radhakrishnan or Naren, have proved that this time when the market went down, how they did, how they looked bad for the whole market over a 2-year period, but all of them came back very strongly. So that's all important, and that's another thing which you could I could really learn. So it is for you to decide what you learned. Another thing I learned is you have to separate your politics from your markets. I used to be a BJP supporter, not that I ceased to be one, but my influence on my portfolio is something which I have dramatically reduced. I do not care what a politician says about what he's going to do in the economy. I will buy the share, and when he actually starts implementing, I will buy more share, or I will wait for some time, and then if I don't see any action happening at the ground level, I will sell. Keeping your politics away from your investment is very useful, and I have really learned. Sticking to what you have to do, sticking to your asset allocation, sticking to the number of shares that you own, right? All that, being disciplined, doing your SIP or whatever you do, right? Discipline helps. So learning has to be that discipline helps. Learning also has to be that recovery can't be so fast, may not be so fast, but it is possible because there are enough investors today who may think, oh, I missed the bus, so let me buy. Perfectly possible. So check out all that. This is my learning. Please put whatever you learned somewhere in the comments so that others who watch the video and read the comments will benefit. Thank you.